Колеги, ми продовжуємо робочий день.
We continue our working day, and now I give the floor to Presidential Administration spokesman on ITO-related issues, Oleksandr Motuzyanyk. Good afternoon, dear journalists, and now the events in the ATO area during the last 24 hours. Yesterday in Lugansk area, ceasefire continued. In Donetsk area, it was not calm along the front line. Hotspots in the line of confrontation: Lugansk, Zaitsevo, Avdiivka, Piske, Opetna, Krasnogorovka, where the enemy actively used mortars and APCs. And also enemy snipers are active. Usually military actions are active in the second part of the day and in the evening. And during the last 24 hours, the enemy launched more than 100 mines at the positions of the ATO area, and in the Donetsk area, during the last 24 hours, there were 48 shellings by the militants. Mariupol area. Between Novotroitsky and Kuchayevsk, yesterday there was a military clash between the Ukrainian forces and the enemy. They came in KAMAZ trucks and attacked our positions, but they sustained losses and were repelled to the east. And there were also 2 shellings by the militants in the area. In both cases, ATO forces opened fire in return, and also the militants violated ceasefire in Gnutovo and Shirokine. And in Mariupol area, there were 4 armed provocations and 1 military clash. During the last 24 hours, in the result of the military actions, there were no Ukrainian servicemen was killed and 4 were wounded. It was in Avdiivka. And moreover, 2 Ukrainian servicemen were wounded because of the explosion of the booby trap in Stanitsa Luganska. Yesterday, Russian helicopter Mi-8 that is deployed in the occupied Crimea entered Ukrainian airspace above Khersonsk Oblast. It happened in Arbatska Strelka near gas distribution station near Strelkova village. According to the Chief Intelligence Department of MOD, due to losses in the 1st Army Corps of DPR gain formation, new fighters came from Dagestan, and Russian servicemen, they are afraid of the military actions near Donetsk, and they try to avoid to enter this 11th detached motorized regiment, and they bribe the officers in order not to serve there. And in Yasinovata, military intelligence also informs that tank company was brought to Yasinovata, also 12 trucks with ammunition, and Zoopark 1 radio location complex also came there. And also near Pishevik village in Donetsk, SBU detained a militant of DPR. In March this year, this resident of Mariupol, nicknamed Giria, was recruited by the citizen of Russia. He was promised to be paid $1,000 and he was unpleasantly surprised by the lack of discipline, drinking, and he wasn't paid, and he got disillusioned and fled from his from the militants and handed himself into the law enforcers of Ukraine. Law enforcers stopped the channels of illegal financing of the militants, and businessmen exported some products through some ports in Mykolaievshina. They brought goods under falsified documents, and these businessmen were arrested, and now investigation is on the way. In Kharkiv University, training started, and the difference of these courses is that the students of this institution, they changed L-39 planes to Su-25 and MiG-29, and they have high morale and They have good motivation and they have necessary skills for this tasks. And thank you very much for attention. And this is all. And do you have some questions or comments? Thank you, Mr. Colonel. Do you have some questions or comments? If there are no comments or questions, thank you. This is the end of press briefing, and we have two announcements.